Hello, alright, so this is the card that whoever is this message is for, whoever is being drawn to this. I should go back and look at the messages pertaining to only, you know, like a special group of cards like work or the house or something, just to see if the message makes sense together. Because I use this only for, like, you know, if you feel drawn to it, but some of them, there's some that never come out and some that come out all the time. So for me it feels like there's a reason for it, but you know, we'll see. There's a lot of cards that fell down. All cards have 2 or more clarifiers, so this is going to be you know, I guess it's a precise message. We're going to see what it says. Okay, we're starting with the Page of Air, the Council, and the Seer. Okay. Mhm. I'm trying to place the Council in this because I see there's this deep sense of healing in those 3 first cards. I see, I want to see the Page of Air as you, but the fact that it's clarified by the Council and the fact that they look so much alike, uh, is it because of those feathers that are falling? Does it mean that the Council is like above, you know? Because look, you have the Page of Air that's looking at those feathers that are falling. Now the Council has a very similar aspect to the Page of Air. So at the beginning I would have said as a clarifier that the Page of Air was your Council. But the fact that there's feathers on top and the Page of Air is looking at the feather on top, I'm wondering if it just doesn't mean that you're getting guidance from somewhere. And then I have the Seer, so something tells me that you might be a healer of some kind. And on this healer's staff, there is a skull with antlers, and the Council has antlers, and he has the skull really close to his face, and it almost looks like he's listening to an advice, like the skull is telling him something, and he's like leaning in to listen to what it's saying, like he's getting guidance from it. So maybe it's the antlers from this, and the feathers just means that you're receiving guidance from the Council. You're receiving guidance from something, and it's something divine. Because of the you know, you're showing as a, you know, very earthly here, and then the Council is showing as very divine because, you know, the colors, and it looks like there's feathers as well. So it's kind of like you're divine in disguise, receiving guidance from, you know, your Council, you know, on how to heal, on what to do. You're listening to your intuition. Okay, let's see what the rest of the message say. Oh man, those cards look so similar. It's crazy. Okay, next we have the Seven of Fire, the giveaway and the flow. Let's see how. There's something about, I don't have the magic card here, but there's something about magic a little bit, or something that, okay, I'm going to show you the cards. You're receiving guidance, maybe to keep the flow of giving and receiving. Maybe this is what's going to make you elevate, or elevate, not levitate, but like, you know, you're going to lift up that cliff, because this looks like you. It almost makes me feel like the Fool card about to jump up, but because it's a unicorn, and because of the fireflies next to it and everything, and because on this card there's this flow card with this guy manifesting like something, you know, I'm getting this feeling like this oh come on, this unicorn is going to lift up, like it's kind of like in a cartoon, you know, it's not going to just go down and, you know, keep going on its path. It's going to go up, it's going to fly up. And I feel like with the giveaway card here, and look at how the giveaway and the flow card are similar, it really makes me think that there is you have entered the flow, or you're about to enter a flow, or you have understood a flow of giving and receiving, probably, because this is the giveaway card, is the cycle of giving and receiving, the flow of giving and receiving, that is making you lift up and enter a magical world, enter a magical, a new way of living almost, where you're not going to be touching the ground. You're you know, I don't know if I want to see it as ascension. I'm going to keep going and see with the other cards, but you're listening to your intuition and you are giving and receiving. You understood the flow, you know what I mean? You understood that to get you have to give, and to, you know what I mean, and to give you have to get, like, you know, you're not gonna, if it's not reciprocated, you're not gonna feel accomplished, and if you don't give, you're gonna not feel accomplished either, you know what I mean? You're mastering this skill, this flow, and this flow is giving you momentum to lift up and enter this magical world where those dragonflies want to take you, because it almost looks like the dragonflies are around you, kind of like the Tinkerbell. Today I see them as the Tinkerbell, kind of, you know, and they're dropping pixie dust or something like that, and it's making it fly. That's exactly how I'm seeing this seven of air here. Oh, fire, seven of fire, I'm sorry. It makes me feel like it's just gonna lift up because you have mastered something. That has to do with giving and receiving. You're listening to your counsel. You're listening to your intuition. You're doing what you think is right. I love that flow card. I haven't seen that one in I don't know if it's a long time or if I've ever seen it. It looks familiar. But yeah, you're embarking on it's making you lift up. It's lifting you off the ground. Then you have the Hangman, the Tree of Life, the Wind, and the Water. See, this card has 3 clarifiers. So let's see how they all intertwine. What? Okay. Emotions. Wind flow. That's funny. You know, you probably, hold on, let me, from these cards, I'm getting the feeling also that you are, you know, it's a cycle of giving and receiving in the material aspect of it, but it's also the cycle of giving and receiving in an emotional way. You know, you're able to open your heart and talk to people with an open heart, and this is opening up doors for you. That just came out. I don't have anything that says opening doors, but that's just the way it came to me, and it's making you lift up. It's turning, it's fueling the pixie dust in a way, you know. What you're doing, what you're giving and receiving, you're manifesting pixie dust to lift you and take you into this magical world almost, where you're gonna be supported. Hold on, let me get this straight, because it's not a, Are those the roots of the tree of life? Because you, okay, I'm gonna turn around the cards and make you see what I'm getting. Hop, hop, hop. And hop. Alright, so I'm gonna start with the water card just because I'm getting the water card as just a clarifier. That's why I said emotions also. The fact that you're giving and receiving emotions. Because the water element is emotions. And to me, the fact that it's clarifying this also makes me think, first of all, I saw the water in this card. We know in the flow card, it almost looks like he has water in his hand and he's just manifesting something out of, it's like you had this ball of water and he's just transforming it and doing something with it. You know what I mean? And so it's mastering of emotions also, mastering of emotions, but also opening up about emotions, I think. And when I'm looking at these cards, see how with the tree of life and the fact that he's hanging on by almost like a divine thread, you know, like a golden thread. I'm wondering if this is not the root of the tree, of that tree of life. Which would mean that number 3 is the, I think it's the thing of mind, body, and spirit, the equilibrium of mind, body, and spirit. And that's the Hangman card. It's a state that you're in, a state of equilibrium where you're trusting the tree of life. You're trusting life. You're trusting what you're going through. Hold on, let me get a message from the wind because it's because looking at it when I turned them around, I wanted to say despite the wind, like even if there is wind, it's not gonna make you fall because you know you're held tight by the tree of life, you know, by everything you've learned, by all these experiences, dreams, and desires that are making everything, you know, you're trusting in the process. But I'm taking the wind also with the flow card in before. I'm also seeing the fact that it's I'm getting different messages. The fact that also again going with the flow, you know, you're hanging on by the roots of the tree and you're going with the flow, but also, I don't know, maybe each message pertains to somebody, you know, to, you know, different people, I have no idea. But also the wind of change, like comfortable with change. Yeah, I'm gonna lean more towards the comfortable with the fact that you are uh, comfortable with life and the changes in life, because we have the wind and look at all the little butterflies. You have green butterflies that I just saw today actually, and I never noticed those before. And then the butterflies at the bottom here, and with the wind, it's like the wind is making all these little butterflies just lift up and just so going with the flow. You're going with the flow and you're embracing change because it's bringing magic into your life. You're noticing that this is bringing magic into your life, and the more you relax, the more you let it go, the more you trust, and the more you see that it's not oblivion. You're not just going to stay in limbo. It actually means something. Like it's actually doing something positive for you. All this wind is just lifting up all these little butterflies that were settling and is making your world even more enchanted than it already is. The winds of change, going with the flow. You're not fearing giving and receiving anymore because you know that it's all a part of life. And even regarding emotions, you know. Next we have the Ace of Water. the crow, and the arrow. Interesting. Okay, that's funny. I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at, but that's very interesting. Hold on, let me get this. I'm not getting like, I know when I'm looking at these cards, I'm gonna show you what I'm seeing. There is something very particular that they're trying to say. I'm just having a little hard time getting it. You're gonna see what I'm saying. So this is the Ace of Water, and then on the pearl of the Ace of Water, I don't know if you can see it well. Let me see. There is a horse like this one, except that it doesn't have a unicorn. But there is a horse on that ball. I don't know if you can see it. Kind of like this one. Okay. Then when I'm looking at the arrow and the crow, first the link with the crow and this is this, and the other one is here. See? And then the link between the arrow and the crow is, you see, this kind of reddish globe and this yellow globe, and here this yellow globe and this red. See, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, and again, I want to make sure I get you the right message. It's like some sort of key or precious information in order, because it's like this card, the Seven of Fire card is in this card, and it's like I don't know if it's I'm trying to see, is it held hostage? This, what is needed to lift up is the key being held by this seahorse. I don't like when it takes too long for me to understand it, but I don't want to just get the wrong thing out, you know? If I see it takes too long, I'll pause and then get back to it. Like, you know, just pause and until I actually get it, and then push play again. Horse, seahorse. Okay. Horse, seahorse. Maybe I'm getting something. Okay. I'm almost getting the key to lifting up, the key to getting that pixie dust in your life, if I can say it like that. Does it have to do with your throat chakra saying something? You're listening to your intuition, you're understanding maybe the fact of saying your emotions. You know, when you have something to say, saying it and not holding it in, understanding the fact that it's when you communicate in a healthy way, of course, but you know, instead of bottling up everything that you're thinking, you actually say the things that you say in a, you know, good way, nice way, you know, whatever. And maybe this is the key to you actually lifting up. Okay, let me tell you how I'm getting this, but that would make sense, you know? Because we have a horse on this pearl and a seahorse is holding it, I'm taking it that this is you submerged in the water, because we have the element of water here. This is you submerged in the element of water with this aspiration of flying, of being a flying horse, magical, this magical thing, this magical shift in your life. And you know, I noticed this here, but I noticed it on the crow, and because the yellow is on top of the crow, and I want to put my arrow like this to match the arrow, the yellow and then the red. Now if that arrow starts at the yellow and pierces the red on the crow, just like it's doing here on a different, it's like we're seeing on this one, it's like we're seeing the red closer. It's gonna hit that right here, and that's at the throat chakra. It's gonna pierce right through and hit the throat chakra. It's like the throat chakra might be the key to obtaining this thing, and you get not lifting up from being a seahorse and actually being magical unicorn. You know what I'm saying? You're understanding something, you're following your intuition, you're giving and receiving, and you're progressing on your quest. And I think your next step is going to have to be to open up to people when you have something to say. Be open about things, you know what I mean? So you can reach this magical state. It's like this is the next thing you have to learn? Or the next thing you have to master? Because this seahorse has an aspiration of being a flying horse. There's totally a horse on there. That's funny. It's totally. I never noticed it before. So it's probably a call to master your throat chakra. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I saw a link between the tree of life and the arrow. I'm seeing something, but I'm gonna keep going for now, and I'm gonna keep going for now. I'll see if it comes through. So then we have the Ten of Water, the Beloved, and the Completion. This looks like the recognition. You're being recognized by the council that are around you, your guides, you know, angels, whoever is around, ancestors. You know, Buddha is like deity, I guess I can say. You know, it's like a representation of something that's supernatural, metaphysic. You know, it's the representation of something that is not alive here, but something we believe in. And both of these cards, the Beloved and the Completion card, have this heart. Look at the heart in the middle of the here, this heart right here, this heart right here, and then the Council card. Look at her throat chakra again. You're being, I think they're very pleased with your success, with what you're going through. They're thankful for what you're doing. They're thankful to be heard, even though this card is here. But I think I really get this from putting them all together. And everything that you have gone through to master this cycle. Is it somebody that's maybe passed on and that you love, that is very happy and pleased to see how well you're doing because of the Beloved and the Council, the fact that all of this has that heart? Or you are the Beloved, one of those. But see, again, yeah, with that heart at the throat chakra, there's something that has to do with it. I think it's the key. You still need to be able to say what you're thinking. Don't bottle up stuff. Don't bottle up stuff, because it's blocking a flow. It's blocking a flow if you bottle everything up. You know, there's this sort of, I don't know if it's an eye on his belly, but I'm kind of looking at it as a all-seeing eye, you know. They're seeing everything you're doing. They're very pleased with what you're doing. You know, when you're looking at this and this, there is a lot of love, respect, thankfulness, if that's a word. A lot of bright energy that is being sent to you for what you're doing, you know. And for, you know, for giving and receiving the way you are emotionally. And is it that you have mastered the thing of giving and receiving the material things, and now you have to master the giving and receiving of the emotional thing? Or is it that you're already doing it, but you just have to say things? You know, you have to open, you have to talk and open. No, that's interesting. We have the messenger of fire in the lower world at the end here. Maybe you feel like if you say some things, this is going to bring your vibe low because it's not. Maybe, I don't know. I want to say maybe some things are not too nice because of the lower world being here. I'm thinking, look how you're looking at it. You're fearful of something. Like, not fearful, but you're like, really? Like, sure, if I do that, it's not going to make me. We have this kind of same thing in before. Was this the last card that I did? Also, La Maison? Which had something to do with reaching your hand into the darkness to bring another one into the light. But with this, I'm also getting, with the message before, I'm also getting something about, I'm not sure if you should say some things. Because you're afraid that it's going to lower your vibration. If maybe some things might be a little too mean to say. You feel like this is going to make you, put you in the lower world, when instead it's going to help you rise, because you're owning, you know, owning your power almost, you know. Creating a flow in your life, you know. But I think you're a bit fearful of opening up because she has her arms closed, see? Yeah, I think you have a fear of maybe either hurting other people's feelings, or yeah, you don't have to say, I don't think it's about saying things like in a mean way, you know. You have to have some discernment and be tactful about what you're saying, you know. But it's the fact of holding things in. You know, maybe make a list of the things you wish you could tell some people, and then find an occasion at some point to be able to tell them what you think, because otherwise it's eating you inside. The fact of not saying anything is eating you inside. But you're afraid that if you say it, you'll be viewed as mean, and you know, which you won't. I mean, you have to do it in the right way, you know. But I do see again that the fact that you're afraid of saying things puts you in this child energy instead of this, because you're afraid. Just the fact of being afraid of doing something. This is the message, kind of what we had before, like not wanting to reach down into the darkness because you're afraid that it's going to suck you in. This is kind of a message of you're mastering your skills. You're listening to the guidance that is being sent to you as a healer on this 3D plane, you know. And you're mastering the gifts of giving and you're mastering giving and receiving, and this is lifting you up. You only have 2 feet left touching the ground. You're trusting you completely in the roots of the tree of life, even through the wind and everything like that. But you have to master the emotional aspect of it. If you have not already, you have to master and be able to move your emotion, you know what I mean, like master your emotions. While going with the flow, watching those butterflies lift up when the wind comes. And a tip to help you master your emotions is going to be to be able to say things. You know, you have this arrow. It's like the arrow of truth almost. You know, I'm not looking at the book, but it's like the arrow of truth almost. You know, and it's hitting right there, right at his throat chakra. And this is the key to lifting up into this magical world, being free of. It's like, you know, when you say something, when you know, in French you say crever l'abcès, you know, you pierce the wound. You know this saying that you say, you know, when something, the elephant in the room, but then you have this abscess and you pierce the abscess and then the pressure comes out and it's, you feel a lot better. It's like that. But either way, you're being recognized for all the hard, everything you've been through by your loved ones. And as a beloved, you're being recognized for everything you're doing. They're very happy and very thankful that you're listening to your intuition and that you're moving forward with everything that you have to do. Even though you are afraid of, you're afraid of what's talking might, you're afraid that the fact of saying some things might hurt you, or like might hurt other people and therefore hurt you. You know what I mean? That's the feeling I'm getting. Like you're not quite sure. It's, you know, like, are you sure? There's this thing that I've been wanting to tell somebody myself, and I'm having the hardest time. It's the kind of thing that you can't just say like that. It's somebody very, very dear to me, and there is, I don't know how to say it. I just feel like if I say it, it's gonna be like they're gonna take it in a very mean way. So I can relate to this 100%. Just, is there a message, like a clarifier for this message? A main point, a point that needs to come out, that needs to, there you go. A point needs to be, you know, the most important point maybe of this reading. We have a horse again. We have an eagle. And we have a I'm not gonna dig in too much to this one because it doesn't, it's not the same type of bird. I'm very curious. I kind of want to read what it means. I'm just I don't know if they're going to talk about it, but look at that the stare of the eagle. Like I'm seeing the, obviously I'm seeing the guy, there's the horse on top here. More eagles over here. What was the hold on, last week? Not last week, but the last video, what was the eagle going to get something? Was it the last week's was it the last message? With the eagle, where the eagle came out. You have to get something. Or something like that, and look at his look. He has like a very, and for some reason that's the only thing I can see. It's like on this card, I'm this eagle is like drawing in my mind. So I'm gonna read the little thing. It's really not that long. The Grand Spirit Wakantanka. I'm gonna read it in English directly, but it's written in French. So it's a high Grand Spirit of Lakota. The power, the intense power, and the intense and dangerous power of of the grand mystery, subtle energy that embodies every being, every element of the cosmos: the sun, the moon, the sky, the earth, the wind, the animals, the plants, and the people. Uh, has their own spirit, but Wakantanka represents the energy, the grand energy that animates everything. The energy that brings life to everything. The ego is a symbol of the grand spirit who looks over everybody. Keywords: miracle, faith, messages, responses. See, messages, responses. The flow. I think I'm gonna put it with those. I think it symbolizes the energy, an understanding of the energy that makes up everything, and understanding that the fact that when you are holding, I'm gonna keep it with this reading, but the fact when you're holding in something, you're blocking a flow. A flow of the natural flow of things, the natural flow of energies. Some people need to hear the things that you have to say, because what you're going to say is going to come from a good place. It's going to come from the heart with good intentions. This is the mastery again of the energies. With the eagle overlooking everything with his little eye. It's a beautiful card. Yeah, when I'm looking at it, I almost see it there too, but there is a lot of people with their arms up in this reading. A lot of characters with their arms up. All right, I'm just going to pull a few cards from this deck to just, a few messages that you guys might need to hear. I thought it was going to fall. Okay, movement, choices, decisions. That's my fridge. I don't know if you can hear that, but it kind of sounds like a cat meowing, but that's actually my fridge. I'm hesitating on where to put it because I almost would want to put it on the tree of life. Maybe flow. It's for me the movement, choices, and decisions is the fact that you are. It's just the natural, again, natural flow of life, the natural thing. You know, that's what's happening in your life right now. And overall, you know, life is never still. It keeps moving. You always have two choices to make, decisions to make. You know, depending on everything that's going on in your life. You know, I'm gonna put it on flow because I think it allows you also to manifest. You know, manifest you make choices, you make decisions, and you manifest what you want. Then we have new beginnings that I'm going to put at completion. Just because there is a completion, we have a new beginning. A new beginning that you're not looking at yet because it's a new beginning that you're not quite sure of. You're not sure if this is the right thing to do. Next we have firm foundation. I'm hesitating between two here. Um, I'm gonna put it with the Seven of Fire. Firm foundation. Because to me, to be able to stand on your 2 feet like that and get that pixie dust, you know, to get the momentum to hit and tip, you know, it's like you're in in the motion of going forward and lifting up, and you need a firm foundation to do that. Because if it was crumbly, you would just fall to the ground. You need a firm foundation to be able to lift up like you're going to be doing. And this firm foundation is you understanding, completing your cycle of giving and receiving, like completing this cycle of learning this. That's very nice. And rest and rejuvenate, I'm going to put it with the hangman. Because this is not a negative hangman. It's a relaxed hangman. A completely trusting hangman. Trusting in the tree of life. You know, trusting in everything that's happening to him because he understands that he's being held by this cord, this divine cord. You know, you're understanding a lot and you're going through everything, and you know, it's like when you go to class and you take, you know, you have a lesson that you have to learn, and you take, you know, you learn the basis, and then you grow from the basis and you keep going. This is what's happening right now. You learned a major thing. The major thing is to give and to the flow of giving and receiving. And you have to master, if you haven't done it yet, emotions. The art of controlling your emotions in a good way. You know, I'm not talking about bottling them up. On the contrary, it's telling you to say some things. There's some things you're going to need to say. You can't let it bottle up the way you are. This is going to be the key of your success, almost of you reaching this magical journey. But you are being looked over and they're very proud of you. And you're just, you're afraid that it's gonna make you go back, and that it's gonna make you um, be part of the lower world, like bad vibes and stuff, you know. But it's not. It's actually something that you have to do. Oh my god, does that mean that I have to say what I have to say? Oh my god. Okay. Honestly, if that's what it means, then it's gonna suck. I hope it's not gonna. That's you know, I really associate with this message. You know, I got gifted this deck of cards today. Um, Again, it's in French, but it's the Crystal Divine. I don't know. It's like, because it's the grand game of crystal divination almost. This is the. I don't even think, is there an author on here? There's not even. There is not even a. Well, there's a thing in here, but it's. The cards look beautiful. I just wanna. I've never used it before. I have no idea how it's gonna come out, but I just wanna. I'm just gonna do one card. Just one card, and see what message comes out of this spread, because I want to use it. This deck of cards is beautiful, and my aunt gave it to me today. Oh my god, I'm doing it. Okay, I guess we have a few cards that fell down. Ooh, timing. Okay. Okay. I have like 0 subscribers and I have an hour-long video, guys. Something tells me it's not gonna. I'm not on my way to success, but what do you say? You know, I'm not trying to be. I don't have a choice. I have to do those. It just keeps eating in my mind, and I don't have enough. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have enough friends to do them. To do for them, you know, like a lot of friends to do these readings for. So we have the falcon appearing. The falcon is in the wind, and it's also in the healing, in the healer card. Healing winds, healing. Um, Healing wind, maybe it's. Okay, that's funny the way these cards are communicating. It's like you have the ability to focus on the changes in the wind. You can tell the different of the shifts in the wind, because see, the wind is like this, and the falcon is coming out. This is a beautiful card. And then the falcon is also here in the healer card. You have the. It's like you have the ability of feeling the changes in the wind. This is part of your healing abilities. It's like you can tell when a wind is healing. It's like, I don't know. It's weird. It's like something very. I don't know. It's for somebody. You can tell the changes in the wind. The wind has something to lights you up, because the falcon here, I almost see him as on fire. It's like it ignites you. The message are interesting because it's different. It's like a more of an ability, like a, I don't know. It's personal, but it's. Yeah, you completed your cycle in a good time, like in a good amount of time, in the right amount of time. It's not too late. It's not too, everything you did it, happened, everything that happened exactly as it should have, when it should have, including your completion of the cycle. Because look, there's 2 flowers on this card time, and the only flowers that we have in the rest of the deck is here. Those 2, they're not the same flowers, but they are pink flowers. One is a lotus, some are lotuses, and the other ones are roses. But it says time en partie is like in a given time almost, you know, with this. And you still have some time. It's like you've done it. And this card, because we have the snake here, the completion card, you've completed your cycle on time. It's like you're, you know, you might have wondered maybe at some point if you were doing everything right, or if maybe you were taking too long, or you missed a shot at something, or, but no, everything was done in divine timing almost. You know what I mean? Like everything happened exactly at the right time, including your completion of this cycle, you understanding this. Okay? The next card we have is the serpent. Now I have 2 places I want to put this, so I'm gonna just concentrate 1 second. Oh my god, 3 minutes, that's gonna be a long video. Sorry for making such a long video for whoever will watch this in years and years to come. Because ooh, that's Jad, it's cold. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna show you what I'm wondering, what I'm getting. And you're gonna understand. Okay? This is what I have in front of me. Doesn't it look like there is a message trying to come through with these cards? Oh my god, it's like, and I don't want to spend I don't want to spend too much time on this, but there is something, completion. Okay. Oddly enough, the message I'm getting from this is, it has to do with this. This is, okay, in order. This is you as a seahorse with the aspiration of nurturing this ball and with this flying horse, this unicorn about to fly off, okay? So this is your aspiration, like your, you know, with the reason why you have to talk and everything like that. You know, like talk, say what you, walk the talk and talk the walk kind of thing, you know? You have to do this, and it has something to do with completing a cycle. Now, the weird thing I'm getting is, will you have completed this cycle when you will face your fears? You know? Because I have this kind of, I have this feeling that it's now I almost get this feeling that this thing is, it's not a rushing or anything like that, the time thing, but it's kind of like a even if there are still steps that you need to take in order to complete this cycle, If that's the thing, that's what I'm getting from this serpent card. It's like the serpent is kind of, he's looking kind of fearful, and he's holding the key to ending the cycle, because the serpent here is the completion of the cycle. And this is what you aspire to. You have to fight your fears in order to complete your cycle. But everything will be done in divine timing. Like, you're not being rushed. You're just made aware, almost. That's interesting. It's like the message is changed lightly. These cards are cool. I like the way they talk. It's like they I don't know. It's like getting into a different. You get into a different vibe with them. You know, they clarify even more. I like it. All right, guys. I'm gonna let you guys go. All right. Take good care.